So let me get this straight. The only time that Draymond took away from the team was self-mandated, according to Draymond. He was the one that said, I'm stepping away. This is a spineless reaction to a spineless act from Draymond Green. The team, I've said this from the beginning, had to react accordingly. I feel like there's no doubt about it that a suspension was justified. Green's history with this team. Don't forget, this was the guy who was suspended for a game for his confrontation with KD a few years ago. He got a 1-game suspension for that. So the mere confrontation with Kevin Durant led him to a suspension, but he could literally Superman punch and knock out Jordan Poole, and he doesn't get suspended for it. That is a crock. What Draymond Green got, Ramie, was a 7 to 10-day vacation. Congratulations to him. You knocked your teammate out, and you got to skip most of the preseason and camp. You were able to keep your feet up and take a vacay. Must be nice to be Draymond Green.
And you and I have talked about whether or not there should have been a suspension. I'm okay with the Warriors handling it the way that they handled it, because I said from Jump Street, I don't think that this is as big a deal as everybody's making it out to be. It's something that happens in practices across the world of professional sports. You name the sport, guys are getting into it in practice. Now, he knocked him out, okay? And guys aren't getting knocked out regularly in practice. He landed a good punch is what happened. You say that they're spineless. I think they showed a little backbone by not bowing to public opinion, which suddenly changed and the outrage meter got turned up.
I don't think
because we saw video.
Listen,
of it.
I'm not going to sit here and say public opinion changed. I don't know. I didn't go around and survey the United States of America about Draymond Green.
It was pretty obvious the outrage hit another level when the video came out, as it does. And you've agreed with me on that point before.
For some people, I'm not ready to sit here and say that before. Your premise is that before the video was let out, that most people didn't want him suspended. I'm not going to go that far. And your premise is also saying that once the video came out, that most people changed their thoughts in their minds.
Not changed.
I'm not going to go that far either.
They were more emphatic about it. Their feelings were certainly stronger about it.
The 10 people on Twitter that you saw tweet about it.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter tweeting about it.
To me, you draw the line. To me, it's rather easy. I said the same thing when Aaron Donald started, swinging helmets during a joint practice. It's very easy. You suspend the guy. Aaron Donald deserved it. Draymond Green deserved it. And anybody, if the defense is, this happens, anybody who knocks out a teammate or punches a teammate in the face in practice should be suspended. That's where I come from. That's been my opinion from the very beginning. And the fact that they did not do much of anything. They suspended a guy who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Oh, nice little slap on the wrist. But you're going to come back for game 1, Draymond. You can come on back now, buddy.
But the Warriors said before the video came out that they weren't going to suspend him.
And I called them spineless at the time.
I'm not saying you changed your mind or you somehow escalated. I'm saying that before the video came out, they said no suspension. Then the video came out, and all of a sudden they felt a need to. I wouldn't have even addressed it again. I would have said, we already told you what we're doing about this. Coming out and addressing it again just brought more attention to it, especially the way that Steve Kerr did it, to ominously say, I'll tell you guys what we're doing with Draymond after the game today. I would have said, look, guys, I know a lot of people saw the video and are outraged and shocked by it. We've already handled this thing internally. We don't feel a need to address it again. Boom, period,
done. The fact the team was not outraged or shocked, the fact that the team didn't feel like that, what happened, what we saw transpire on video, the fact the team didn't feel strong enough that was something that should have been suspension worthy is crazy to me. It's absolutely freaking bananas. And I don't buy it. I think if other guys on that team did it, if you switch the roles and Jordan Poole knocked out Draymond Green, I'm not so sure that Jordan Poole doesn't get suspended. This might be a little bit of we're afraid of Draymond as well with his volume podcast and some of the stuff he might say, and he might tear at the fabric of this basketball team. Draymond Green gets away with murder with the referees, with other players, and now with his own organization. He's run amok, he's out of control, and nobody will do anything about it but slap him on the wrist with a weak fine.
I like he's running amok and that's out of control.
And that's ridiculous.
That's a good line.
He's, kicking people in the groin years ago, getting into a confrontation with KD in the middle of a game, screaming at officials and getting into it with other players, going on his podcast, talking tough, and then not being able to tell, handle trash talk.
I know Draymond has a track record. Everybody knows Draymond has a track record,
and that matters.
But it matters. The way that
it matters to me.
The way that they looked at it, it was family business. They handled it internally, decided they handled it correctly.
Has that worked with Draymond so far?
Didn't change their mind because a video came out.
How's that worked with Draymond so far?
They've won, 4 titles? That's worked out pretty well.
I'm talking about Draymond's behavior.
He comes with some baggage. Yes, but you also win championships.
You're setting a He helps you win. He's not the reason you win.
Dennis Rodman kicked the cameraman.
He helps you win. He doesn't win you championships. He helps you win. If Steph Curry and Klay Thompson aren't on this basketball team, give me a break with that. The precedent is set by the team, okay?
Yeah, precedent.
They're setting the precedent. So you can now walk into practice, and if somebody talks trash to you, you can punch them and knock them out and get a fine and come right back.
The precedent in sports has always been a sliding scale of what can you do for me, and I'll put up with as much as you can do for me. This isn't new.
And I'm
telling you, Draymond is
good
at what he does, so they put up with more.
And I'm telling you, the line should be drawn. I'm telling you, their line is way too above and beyond. And the wiggle room that they give Draymond Green is outrageous. I'm not arguing that there's some kind of balanced system in sports. My argument is that Draymond Green is a habitual line stepper, and nobody has gotten in the way.
He's definitely that.
What happens when let's say you have a kid and the kid keeps doing stuff that's wrong, and you keep just going, don't do that, Junior. The kid's going to keep doing stuff that's wrong. Draymond Green has gotten to the point where he could Superman punch a dude and knock him out in front of his teammates, and nothing is done but a slap in the wrist for a fine. If you don't find that outrageous, I found you to be outrageous.
I also think they might be looking at this and going, he's only our problem for another year. Let's try and win one more chip, and then we're done with the whole Draymond Green thing.
Spineless. Absolutely spineless.
You can call the suspension or lack thereof spineless, but to stand up to what they said before the video came out and after the video came out, and not to bow to outrage, I think is a good thing.
Stand up against the media and the fans instead of the guy that you got to work with day to day. That's courage. What's courage is you standing up and saying, this isn't allowed. We're not going to have this happen on our watch, and you're going to be suspended.
I'd like to know what Jordan Poole has to say about all
right, so I'm upset about Draymond Green, but why is